Point number 80, Imam al-Barbahari, rahimahullah, he said, وَأَعْلَمْ أَنَّهَا لَمْ تَكُنْ زَنْدَقَةٌ وَلَا كُفْرٌ وَلَا شُكُوكٌ وَلَا بِدْعَةٌ وَلَا ضَلَالَةٌ وَلَا حَيْرَةٌ فِي الدِّينِ إِلَّا مِنَ الْكَلَامِ وَأَهْلِ الْكَلَامِ وَالْجَدَلِ وَالْمِرَاءِ وَالْخُصُومَةِ وَالْعُجْبِ وكيف يجترئ الرجل على المراء والخصومة والجدال والله تعالى يقول ما يجادل في آيات الله إلا الذين كفروا. An ayah in Surah Al-Ghafir. فعليك بالتسليم والرضا بالآثار والكف والسكوت. He said, and know that heresy, disbelief, doubts, innovations, misguidance and confusion about the religion have not occurred except through rhetorical theology, al-kalaam, and the people of rhetorical theology, and through argumentation, debating, disputing and self-amazement. And how can a man boldly enter into debating, disputing and argumentation when Allah the Most High says, he quotes the ayah in Surah Al-Ghafir, the 40th Surah, ayah 4, ما يجادل في آيات الله إلا الذين كفروا. The ayah with the explanation, none dispute regarding the ayat of Allah except those who disbelieve. So upon you is to submit and to be pleased and satisfied with the narrations and to withhold and remain silent. Brief point here with regard to al-kalaam, what was translated here as rhetorical theology, al-kalaam. And Shaykh Salih al-Suhaimi, hafidhahullah, he said with regard to the meaning of kalaam, he said ilm al-kalaam al-murad bihi ilm al-mantiq. What is meant by this word kalaam, it means logic. It's referring to logic. Shaykh Fawzan said, hafidhahullah, in his explanation of this has preceded and a warning against it. And as they say in a footnote on page 125 of this first volume, meaning point number 11. There's already been a warning in the book from Imam al-Barbahari with regard to theological rhetoric. Then Shaykh Fawzan said with regard to the last phrase here, so what's upon you is فَعَلَيْكَ بِالتَّسْلِيمِ وَالرِّضَى بِالْآثَارِ وَالْكَفِّ وَالسُّكُوتِ. So what is upon you is to submit and to be pleased and satisfied with the narrations and to withhold and remain silent. Shaykh Fawzan said, upon you is to submit to the speech of Allah and to the speech of His Messenger and to withhold from argumentation and raising doubts, because that is prohibited. Indeed, it will increase confusion. Take hold of the speech of Allah and the speech of His Messenger and be satisfied with that, so that you are guided, and be at peace, and therefore be at peace from whisperings and doubts and false ideas. And you will come to be upon clear insight. So Allah sent down this Quran as a clarification of everything. That's where Shaykh Fawzan ends explanation of this point. As for the explanation, just as a side point, the explanation of Shaykh Ahmad al-Najmi, rahimahullah, then he said, the author said, and you should know that there has not been any heresy, nor any disbelief. He said, I say, Shaykh Ahmad said, I say, restricting heresy to be a result of al-kalaam, rhetorical theology, and to the people of rhetorical theology, and to the people of disputing and arguing and argumentation. This refers to what's mostly the case. However, there may be heresy, indeed there are cases of heresy and disbelief which come about for other reasons besides kalaam, rhetorical theology. This is what's been referred to here is what's generally the case, mostly the case, but not always. He said, and we seek Allah's refuge from all the causes of heresy and disbelief and doubts and innovations. However, this is what is generally the case with regard to a person who learns kalaam, rhetorical theology. This is what generally happens. It leads to those things. And those who learn the different forms of debating and arguing and argumentation and self-amazement. And what is obligatory is to not be amazed at oneself. And a person's being outstanding in debating and arguing and argumentation is something which is blameworthy in a legislation, unless it is to make the truth clear. Unless it's done to make the truth clear. And there occurs in the authentic hadith, from a hadith of Aisha radiallahu anha, that the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said that the most hated of men to Allah is al-aladul khasim, the argumentative, quarrelsome person. The most hated of men to Allah is the argumentative, quarrelsome person. Hadith reported by Al-Bukhari, as hadith 2457, and Muslim, as hadith 2668, 2668. He said, and in the narration of At-Tirmidhi, Allah hates that person who is very eloquent from the men. The one who moves his tongue around, just as the cows move their tongues around. Hadith reported by Tirmidhi 2853 and declared Sahih, authentic by Shaykh Fawzan. He said, and then the author rahimahullah said, how can a person be bold upon argumentation and disputing when Allah says, مَا يُجَادِلُ فِي آيَاتِ اللَّهِ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا, the ayah from Surah Ghafir, the same ayah with the explanation. No one disputes with regard to the ayat of Allah except for those who disbelieve. The Shaykh said, so upon you is to submit and to be satisfied, or quoting again, upon you is to submit and to be pleased and satisfied with the narrations and to withhold and be silent. Shaykh Ahmad said, and I say, what is befitting for the Muslim is to submit to whatever comes from Allah, the Mighty and Majestic, in His book, and upon the tongue of His Messenger sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and to withhold and be silent about whatever is beyond that, whatever is besides that, knowing that submission to what occurs from the legislator, the bringer of the legislation sallallahu alayhi wasallam, should be a submission of rida, being pleased and satisfied. It shouldn't be a submission of just, you have to submit against my will. No, it should be a submission, has to be a submission of being pleased and satisfied, and based upon acceptance and iman, and attesting to the truth, acting upon whatever requires action from it, and believing whatever it necessitates that we believe in. Allah the Most High said, وَالْعَصْرِ إِنَّ الْإِنسَانَ لَفِي خُسْرٍ إِلَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا وَعَمِلُوا الصَّالِحَاتِ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالْحَقِّ وَتَوَاصَوْا بِالصَّبْرِ. Surah Al-Asr, the ayahs 1 to 3. The explanation, by time, mankind is in loss, except those who have iman, except those who truly believe, and work righteous deeds, righteous and correct deeds, and they encourage each other with the truth, and they encourage each other with patience. And he said, and the meaning of amanu is saddaqu, they believe and attest to the truth.